Sarah Jansen is with us, 68-55, the final score. Tusculum pulls out the victory over Queens today. First, Sarah, I want to know what your halftime speeches are like, because this is 2 games in a row in which your team fell behind by a big margin. The other night, 21 in the first half. Tonight, 19 in the first half, but clawed back to make a game of it. So what do you tell them in the locker room? What's going on there?
Apparently, I need to tell them what I tell them in the locker room at halftime before the game.
Yeah.
And maybe we can get going there for the start. But the second game in a row, and I told them at halftime, at least we didn't spot them the whole 20 minutes like we did the last game. Just trying to find a way to get to make sure we start off the game better. After that, I mean, quarter by quarter, we're right there. We're right where we want to be if we don't give them 16 points to start the game out of it.
Pressure defense played a big factor in this game for them and for you. You seem to ramp up the pressure. I remember remarking at one point how all 5 of your players on the defensive side were up above the free throw line. What changed for you defensively in the second half that allowed you to force so many turnovers? Ultimately, Tusculum had 23 turnovers, and all but 8 of those were in the second half.
Well, we kind of extended our zone a little bit and did a good job of kind of pressing up the wings and getting some pressure on the ball. It really starts with our tandem up top with Caitlin and Christian. If they can start our defense with a little bit of pressure like we were able to do, it brings our wings up and kind of gives it's just a different look, especially after not playing it a whole lot. We felt like we had some good success in the first half with it, and then really wanted to try to go back to it a little bit more. And then they do what they play really, really hard. They extend the pressure, and you try to emulate that in practice, but unless you play like that, you can't really get a good read out of it. We like some of the looks that we got out of our full court stuff once we settled down there a little bit and got the ball where we wanted to go. So pressure failed on both ends. It's crazy to think that we only had 3 more turnovers than they did. I think a couple of those came really when we did get stops. We tried to play a little bit faster than maybe what we wanted to. Made some silly decisions in transition. But overall, you knock off that first. That first 10 minutes, and it's a game, with one of the better teams in the league, and right where we want to be.
Describe for me the change in energy for your team from the last 4 games as opposed to the beginning of the year, but also I see a different bench late in games when you're making these runs. And again, the other day you took a lead late. Today you cut it to 7 late against a top 3 team in the league. Yeah,
we've with Dragon and Herning and getting in foul trouble, we've kind of gone with Lottie at the 5 and like what that does for us offensively. And then if we can get back and get it in our zone, then we can kind of hide the fact that we don't have a whole lot of length inside. And just what that 5 is able to do as far as kind of shrinking leads, and then they run out of gas essentially, and just we're a couple pieces away from being really, really competitive, and I think we kind of showed that tonight with what we were able to do in 30 minutes.
Herning Wong had 4 first-half fouls, I imagine. What did you see? That seemed to play a big difference in the game.
Just silly fouls. I think that she puts herself in position before the foul happens to pick up contact on that. But, again, I think that's a little bit of youth. But I think they only get the youth excuse for another 2 weeks before it's time for them to kind of grow up. And they've between Kate and Chris and Herning, they've logged quite a few minutes. So,
well, 19 points tonight from Mendy McNeese, 19 points from Lade Adepoju, another double-figure performance from her. Clawed all the way back, nearly sprung the upset, but in the end, Tusculum does win it tonight over Queens. Sarah, thanks for stopping down.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Phil.